if there was ever a mythic that nobody asked for, I don't think there could be a better contender than the Type 25, because literally no one asked for this. Nobody uses the Type 25 in ranked, nobody uses it in Battle Royale, and honestly not even in any other mode. But here we are with the Type 25 mythic. Now, to be fair, some people actually understand what the developers were going for here, and I've got to admit they did a really good job, especially considering how many players doubted this mythic would be worth it. So let's take a closer look at the Type 25 Deepstar Piercer. When it comes to the appearance of the Type 25 Deepstar Piercer, it features a futuristic spaceship design with sharp, angular, and elongated details, almost like a blend between a stealth aircraft and a high-tech starship. It gives off that advanced sci-fi vibe while still maintaining the classic silhouette of the Type 25. Now, apart from the design, this mythic also comes with the usual 5 upgrade levels. At level 1, you'll unlock several attachment skins, including the MIP Extended Light Barrel, Monolithic Suppressor, YKM Combat Stock, 46 round extended mag, Tactical Foregrip A, and the Granulated Grip Tape. As a little bonus, you'll also receive the Deepstar Paradox sticker, which, let's be honest, none of us are probably ever going to use. Moving on to the kill effects, it's actually wild how the base kill effect looks completely outdated. It's basically trash at this point, but honestly, who cares? Because once you upgrade it, you unlock all 3 kill effects anyway. The second kill effect is where things start to get interesting. It gives off this cosmic vibe, kind of like a constellation in the sky, almost resembling shapes like a polar bear or other star patterns you'd see at night. But the real showstopper is the third kill effect, which activates at the 4 combo level. It's absolutely insane. It looks like some kind of energy scanner that locks onto the enemy's body, scans it, and then makes it vanish in this sci-fi holographic way. Some players have compared it to the Mythic Draw 556's kill effect, and while the two do share similarities, they are not identical. Moving on to level 3, this is where you unlock the upgraded form of the weapon, and the difference from the base version is pretty noticeable. The most striking change is this bayonet-like attachment that appears just below the barrel. It's not a real blade, though it's more like a holographic projection, not mechanical or solid. Still, it gives the weapon a much more aggressive and futuristic look, making it feel larger and deadlier overall. As for the bonus rewards at this level, you'll receive the First Blood badge and a unique calling card frame. Now let's move on to level 4, which unlocks the tracer rounds. There's nothing too mind-blowing about them, but I've got to say, the bullet trail looks really cool. It has this soft dimming effect as the bullet flies, making it look much more detailed and refined compared to other mythic tracers. The upgraded kill feed also stands out. Now on to level 5, where the weapon truly comes to life. At this stage, the gun looks even larger with extra visual effects, more glowing fragments, more holographic particles, and an overall dark star vibe that makes it feel out of this worlds. But here's where things get really interesting. The weapon inspection animation. This is where the Mythic Type 25 completely outshines every other mythic weapon in the game. It actually has 4 different weapon inspections, and each one happens randomly. The coolest part? During these animations, the gun transforms into different weapon forms, which is something we've never seen before in COD Mobile. Now, the interesting part about this transformation is that the weapon it turns into isn't that any regular gun. It actually transforms into other mythic weapons. You'll see the Type 25 Deepstar Piercer morph into one of 4 mythics: the Rytec AMR Nautilus, the M13 Morningstar, the Fennec Ascended, or the Krieg 6 Ice Drake. All 4 are fan favorite mythics, widely considered among the best ever released in COD Mobile. So in a way, this inspection is like having a 4-in-1 mythic experience. Of course, you can't actually use those weapons, it's purely a visual transformation, and the versions that appear have a dark cosmic overlay, not their original bright forms. Now let's talk about the 3 iron sights, because this time they've done something pretty special. Each of them looks unique and gives a completely different feel when aiming. The base iron sight actually resembles that of the AK117 Lava Remix, especially its base version. It's clean, minimal, and easy to use, which is something you don't usually get with base forms. Honestly, I see no reason to complain here, since it already looks solid and gives great visibility. Then at level 3, you unlock a triangle-shaped iron sight, which at first glance looks really cool and futuristic. But if you think about it carefully, the non-upgraded version might actually look better in terms of practicality. Now, moving on to the final iron sight. This one is definitely the best of the 3. It feels less obstructive than the others, which means you can see more of your target while aiming. It actually reminds me a lot of the Mythic XM4, which I absolutely love for how smooth and easy it is to use. Also, at level 5 you'll unlock the ammo counter, and honestly, this is one of my favorite parts of the upgrade. So having a straightforward ammo display that clearly shows the exact number of bullets left is just awesome. In many mythics, you have to guess what's going on because the counter changes colors or shows weird bars that don't make sense. Alright, if we talk about the reload animation, is actually really unique. Instead of the magazine magically appearing in your hand like most mythics, this time something pops up in the sky and refills the magazine, almost like it's being summoned from above. It's such a creative touch, something we haven't really seen before, and it perfectly fits the futuristic, space-themed vibe of this mythic. Definitely one of the more innovative reload animations we've had in a while. Now let's quickly go over the other items in the mythic drop. The character skin here is Tiangu Deepstar Assassin, and honestly I had different expectations when I saw the early teasers. I thought the design would be a bit leaner, maybe more of a try-hard type skin like we usually see with female characters, or slimmer builds, but this way turns out to be a male character, which gives him a bulkier look, especially with those big shoulder pads. That said, the helmet design looks incredible, very sleek and futuristic, and it perfectly matches the aesthetic of the Mythic Type 25 Deepstar Piercer. However, the Mythic Type 25 is clearly designed to go with the Mythic Dark Shepherd character skin, and honestly, that's no secret anymore, everyone seems to accept it. It really feels like a bit of a bait, encouraging players to get this weapon if they already own Dark Shepherd. If you don't have Dark Shepherd, it's kind of a missed opportunity, and if you do have him, it almost feels like a waste not to pair them, because the two together just look incredible in the lobby. Alright, next up we have the PPSH41 Deepstar, and this one comes with an inbuilt red dot attachment. Just to be clear, this is a proper attachment slot, not at a painted on site, which is pretty nice. The only downside is that unfortunately, it's not animated. Now they also included a thumper in the mythic drop, and this way it has a different geometry compared to the standard thumper. It actually looks shorter and more compact. Alright, so the dirty trick emote is kind of unusual. Honestly, it doesn't really match the Deepstar theme of this mythic drop, but it's still a really long emote, and I personally love long emotes because they feel more dramatic. We also have a helicopter skin, which feels a bit random, maybe just a filler item, and there's a parachute included too. Something really cool is that the Galaxy Bridge charm looks very similar to the final kill effect of this mythic weapon, so I think it was probably inspired by that effect. The calling card is called Deepstar Assassin, and it actually features the Mythic Type 25. And we also cannot forget about the legendary trophy system, which is really cool. You can actually see it in action here, and it perfectly matches the Deepstar theme of the rest of the mythic drop. Honestly, even if you don't manage to get the Mythic Type 25, pulling this trophy system is still something to be really happy about. Alright, so if you ask me whether this mythic drop is worth buying, here's the deal. I'm not totally sure how viable the Type 25 is in ranked matches, because it's not really a meta weapon. But if you're just a regular player who enjoys the game and isn't worried about being competitive, you can still be really happy with this drop. The inspections, the kill effects, and the overall look of the weapon are all really cool and fun to use. Now, the character skin is awesome, but maybe not exactly what some of us expected. Other items like the PPSH41 Deepstar and the short thumper look amazing too, and of course the legendary trophy system is a nice bonus if you didn't manage to pull the main mythic. Aside from that, there isn't a huge reason to chase this drop if you're mainly concerned about meta weapons, but it's definitely a nice cosmetic upgrade for anyone who enjoys style and visuals in the game. Overall, it's an alright mythic drop, not the best, but definitely not the worst. I have to give credit to the developers because they did a really good job making this Type 25 mythic look amazing, even though it's not a top tier weapon in gameplay. That's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you found it helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss any of my other videos. I'll see you in the next one.